If you're not thinking about AI in your life, you're thinking about your life wrong. It is going to absolutely change everything. It's going to make you more productive. It's going to eviscerate jobs. I'm not going to say you're going to lose jobs. It's going to eviscerate them. This business podcast, the Two Business Guys Mastermind, uncovers for you secrets and share tips and tricks to entrepreneurship as they mastermind on how to have startup, operational, and overall business success so that you can go on to get better results. Enjoy. So the two business guys are rounding out to 2024, getting into 2025. And one of the things, and I know Rob's out there, he's probably golfing or something. Who knows? But we talk about, well, what is the new year going to be for you? How are you going to flip the switch? And I like to call it flip the switch business, right? Are you going to just literally come in and flip the switch and things are going to be magically different? And I'm curious about that. How are things going to be magically different? Now, Rob and I, we like to go back and forth. And then when we mastermind, we're talking about things out there in life, things out there in business, but ultimately, us. We get together because we just enjoy each other's company and we like to talk about different things in businesses that we are doing. We're at different stages of business. And I like to tease Rob a lot about, the things that he is doing in the leadership space and how we need to infuse massive amounts of AI in it. And I'm going to continue to hammer on that in 2025. And this is the reason because AI right now is reaching a level that, as we remember the internet back in old, how it was here, people were talking about it, some people jumped out, started using it, some people failed in it, a whole bunch of companies, a bubble burst and all that kind of stuff. But if you started seeing how it could be used in a variety of ways and you jumped on and jumped in with both feet, then you succeeded. You rode the wave, no matter if it was a tsunami, you rode the wave and you jumped in and got after it. I think that's the way it is going to be with AI, AI, AI. Now, literally on my screen right now, I'm looking at no fewer than one, two, three, four, five, six different AI applications that on a daily basis I am using. Now, if you're not thinking about AI in your life, you're thinking about your life wrong. It is going to absolutely change everything. It's going to make you more productive. It's going to eviscerate jobs. I'm not going to say you're going to lose jobs. It's going to eviscerate them because there are certain things that right now it's doing that I used to have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for that I don't want to have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. I mean, getting images, for example, just on the things that I do in the various online businesses that I have, I used to have to spend all goo gobs of money for images. Now, images are a thing, right? You kind of get an image and you put it up and you bought it over there at Getty or you bought it over there at Shutterstock or Storyblocks or wherever it is. And now I can put in a prompt of exactly the image that I want. I can make it look illustrative. I can make it look photorealistic, and it cracks it out like nobody's business. And let me see if I can pull one up here. I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you some of the stuff that I have been exploring and experimenting with and give you an idea of what I mean. And we're talking about for minimum amounts of money, whereas before we had to just, oh my gosh, spend way too much money for this stuff. So as we think about how then in 2025 in the new year, how are we going to infuse these things in our life? And then more importantly, this is the key part. More importantly, how are those things going to make us money? All right, help our businesses. Now, I consult and coach with a lot of people in different industries. That's my bang, right? I love being able to talk to you in different industries because as I do that, more information comes in, more stuff I'm able to do that then gives me a sense of what's going on in life. Now, here's one right here. I'm going to pull it up in a minute, but I want to share with you and kind of get you ready for how fast something like this can happen. I want to make sure that my everything is up the way I want it. And then I'm going to show you, and this is going to be real time. Of what I'm going to show you next is going to be real time, so you get a chance to see it work in a way that you may not have thought about before. All right, so let me go ahead and make sure that this works good for us here, y'all. Again, we don't over here at the Two Business Guys Mastermind, we don't script stuff, right? We get on and we just start rocking it out and we just show you a lot of these things in real time. We're talking in real time and that part, right? So, all right, so here's one right here. Now, this one right here is through Google, and I kind of see the game, right? Google is basically saying, hey, use our stuff for free. And using it for free kind of trains its model. We kind of get the game, right? And that's going to be a big thing. We're going to hear some old school tools being used anew. When I say old school tools, when we start talking about smart contracts and we start talking about crypto stuff, right? Because we're going to be able to see that, wait a minute, they're using our name, image, likeness, and not just for college sports, but name, image, likeness in a variety of ways. Then we might start saying, hey, wait a minute, if you're going to use my name, image, likeness to train your models, you need to send me some money, right? And I mean, it could be micro payments. And this is where we talk about smart contracts and we start doing, talking about on chain type of things. You'll start seeing in 2025, you're going to start seeing a merging of those and then a new way to earn emerge as well. Some of the old ways to earn are going to go bye bye, right? Now, I do also know of areas that are going to be, and I'm going to say relatively safe. So let's talk about this, right? A plumber with a wrench fixing your sink, right? So I think like, areas like plumbing, and there's a whole bunch of others. So a plumber with a wrench is the prompt that I put in. I put in some more stuff, but this one kind of slow today. Plumber with a wrench. All right. Now we'll let this all catch up. I'm probably going to have to get, new stuff, new computers because a lot of these, these AIs and the things that we're using, they're energy hogs, man, because they have to compute. So fixing your sink. All right. You see it here. All right. Plumber with a wrench fixing your sink. Let's see if we can create an image with that in mind. All I put in a plumber with a wrench fixing your sink. And I just want this particular image maker to make me an image that shows that. Now, before, what would I have to do? I would have to go over somewhere and get this. I would have to pay for this. Now, imagine if I'm a plumber and so hopefully it's able to do it for us right here and I'm a plumber and I'm gonna, do a landing page or I'm gonna do a website, what I would typically have to do is I would have to go out there and grab these crazy images, right? But look at this. If you're not saying that that is reasonably photorealistic, right? That could be anybody underneath there getting ready to fix that sink. And now I have an image that I did not have to pay for at the ready, right? Now, I don't know how you spell that, but whatever. We can change some of these things. We can use another AI over in something like Canva or whatever it is that then changes that out. Now, you see what's happening here. I got four images that look pretty good. I can then take these images and even within the same app, change the look. I can say, Asian American man. I can say African American man, Indian American man, whatever it is. I can do all kinds of stuff. But if you notice here, here's another one that is saying, how would you like this done? Would you like this in 35 millimeter film look? Would you like it to look sketchy? Would you like to have it as an abstract? All kinds of stuff that I can do just from this image. So let's go ahead and we're going to get some more. And this time I'm going to say 35 millimeter film. I want it to have a 35 millimeter film look. I want it to be realistic. Let's go ahead and say that. You see what it's doing? It's adding it in right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit more, right? And then I'm going to hit create. Watch what happens next. Now, you see, same prompt with a wrench, 35 millimeter film, realistic. So I am telling it that I want it to have a specific kind of look. All right. Now, this is what it's giving me back. All right. Now another dude using an old school looking wrench right here, right? These are the kind of jobs when we start thinking about AI being able to do this stuff just like that. And now the people that typically had to take those images are kind of looking around like, oh my gosh, that's my job. That's my profession. This is what I do. Now, that's just a tip of the iceberg. Some of the other things that we have available are even more fascinating. I'm going to be showing you some of those coming up. Another one that I'm enjoying a lot of is called Voice Notes, and it's over at voicenotes.com. This one right here is super crazy. I can record just a little bit here. It records whatever I'm saying, and then it gives me the option of what would you like to do? Would you like to create a summary? Would you like to get some insights? Would you like to share those insights with your team? What other things would you like to do, right? So in this case, I'm going to say something like, in today's, let's see, go ahead and allow this, allow while visiting this site. Yeah. Let's go ahead and use it. So in today, episode, we're going to be talking about the various things that in the new year we should be diving all in on. It's going to be AI, but it also is going to be utilizing some things that we know could work well with AI. We're talking about bringing back some old school stuff. Now, here's the big deal. If Mark Zuckerberg, because of Meta and the things that he's rolled out, can increase his income in 2024 by $81 billion, all because of stuff that people were saying weren't going to work, but are working out there right now, then we can do it too by what we create. And this is the key part. What we create, we set it and we don't forget it, but we set it, and create it, set it, and then allow people to use it and watch the long game work. The long game is how we're able to do this. All right, great. Now, if you notice here, in this case, I'm using the free version of voice notes. Now, in the free version of voice notes, we have you get, I think they give you like 60 seconds or something like that. But 60 seconds is a long time. You know, I said all that stuff in 60 seconds. And sometimes that's all we need to say. Now we get the words. Once I ask it to do its thing for me, it's going to transcribe this. I'm going to ask AI to do a thing from what I just did. This is where a lot of the power is, everybody, is when we're asking it to do things from what it sees, from what we do, what we produce, and then we have a chance to absolutely change the game, right? So now, we want to ask it. I wanted to create a couple things. First thing I wanted to create is a blog post. All right. So we're going to say create a blog post. All right. Oh, it didn't accept the note. All right. So it didn't see that I created anything. So let's see if we can do this all over. So in this particular, what I want to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're going to utilize some old school things and some new school things to create in 2025. And then these new school things are going to be matched with stuff that is working, that did work, that made a lot of people money in the past. So we want to meld those two. We have AI that's going to help us meld those two, meld them all together, and then create something brand new. That's what we want to do. All right, let's see if it worked for us. So I don't see my note here. Where is my note? It recognizes that I'm here. So we may have to try something else because it's for some reason not picking up what we're doing here. All right, so it wasn't working at first, but then I got some of them, I had to log in. I wanted to show people and show you how you can do it for free, but it's got some limited opportunities for free stuff. Anyway, so I've got some notes in here already. I talked at one point, September 20th, about Google's new notebook LLM, some stuff there, and you see what it gave me here. It gave me I put in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Now, here's the cool part is imagine now taking some old material that you had, right? I look at some old notes that I have. I got some old, I got notes here on note card. I've got old books. I've got reams and reams of data and all this kind of stuff. So imagine now coming on and putting that in verbally. And then once you put it in verbally, it's then going to ask you, what would you like to do with that? You see it here. It says, all right, what would you like to do? On this particular note, you want to create something, you want to regenerate it. No, just from this this one right here, I want to create something. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create, and it's going to basically ask me, well, what would you like to create? Now look at this. It can create an email, it can create a blog post, it can create a tweet, it can create a summary and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to create a blog post. So let's go ahead and hit blog post. It's going to say, okay, great. You want to create a blog post? Yep. Here's what I want to do. So in this blog post, I have all of this. Look at that. From just the note. Here's the blog post. It's also saying, oh, would you like to tweet that? You could tweet this stuff out. Here's some more information, right? Money is oftentimes. So these are pretty good. Blog post, blog post, blog post. So now, because I asked for that particular thing, it is saying, okay, great. What else would I like to do? It's then saying, would I like to do a to-do list here? Like, so what if I said, yeah, I want to put together a no list of main points, right? Highlight the main points. It is then going to click it in. Now it's already listing this stuff out for you, so I don't even have to click on this stuff, right? Or I don't have to even type this in. I can literally just click on it, put it in, and then from this, go ahead and hit create. I want the highlights from this. Now, the cool part is once it gives me the highlights, there are so many other things we can do. As I said, from AI, we're going to be able to take old information if we want to and recreate it brand new so that we, from a brand new perspective, then get to do all kinds of stuff. Now, I have this main point. Money is the root of all freedoms, a different way to say that. I actually heard somebody say that. Money is the root of all freedoms. Okay, that's kind of cool. So now now here's a big what if, everybody. What if I took all of this right here and I just took it like this and I'm going to just literally go back over to the image maker and I'm going to do one of these. I'm going to start over and I'm going to plug in just that information. Now, I don't even know, this is just snippets of things, right? Bullet points. I don't know what it's going to create, but let's see what it comes up with based on these inputs and then its brain out there saying, I think you might want this. Now I could have put in, I want a something that looks like money trees or whatever it is, right? But look at this. It came up with a image that is a saying, money is the root of all freedoms, create blah, blah, blah. It's got a couple of misspellings here, right? But you're starting to see that once we train it well, it can do amazing things. So what if I said, I want more, but then I want a photographic photography look. Let's say if I want a photography look, and then it says, okay, you want photography look? Yep, I want sci-fi also. And then I'm going to say cinematic. So I'm just giving some extra instructions to what is already here. I don't know what it's going to do, but it could come back with something amazing. Again, at when Rob and I are getting together and we are brainstorming on this stuff, we're masterminding on this stuff. We are literally talking about things that can help your business. This right here, if it can't help your business, I don't know what will. In other words, the things that you then input to stuff like this that then create something for you to then riff on is amazing, right? I'll give you an example. I was using one of my other tools the other day. Oh, I was training on it actually. I was training my wife on how to use Gamma. And because she came in, she said, "Oh man, I got this cast that this live I want to do, and I don't want to spend all this time putting together a PowerPoint." I said, "Oh, we don't have to do that anymore." She was like, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Because what we can use is we're going to use gamma.ap, gamma.app. Go ahead and check that out when you get a chance. And it'll do some amazing things for us. Now, you see what we're doing is we're combining old, bringing it in, putting here, getting images. Now, look at this. All I did was say these things. I wanted cinematic. I wanted this look. It gave me a car, right? It gave me some futuristic dude sitting right here, obviously outer space, and then there's a spaceship. It gave me a car, looked like it's getting ready to go into some kind of portal. It gave me some people over here. all kinds of things that I didn't have to go out and pay for, all because remember, I put in a different prompt, added a couple of things at the end, and then said go. Now, we're going to be doing this at scale for our own selves and for others that don't want to do it. Now, keep in mind, what if my wife had said to me, hey, man, could you go create me, based on my business, create me a PowerPoint and get it back to me in an hour. And it only took, keep this in mind, everybody. It only took about 10 minutes for her to create her whole PowerPoint. She had some prompts. She used an AI to kind of come up with some talking points. So now we're doing that same thing. We are then plugging it in and watching it run like crazy. And once it gives us some of the cool stuff, then we can move on to some other things that we want to do. What is that other thing? You might want to go over to Facebook and put some of these images in. We want to go to Instagram, put some of these images in. Go over to TikTok, put images in. Go over to whatever's brand new that's going to emerge in 2025 and start creating for your business. Now let's talk about how your business then is reflected in this stuff. Here's how it's reflected. You should be sitting down with yourself and asking a question. And that question becomes, what else can I do with my business that then is perhaps outside of its original mission to then earn a good living? All right. Now, what I'm going to show you this particular app here and how I was able to put in other kinds of prompts. Now, remember, we got this prompt from just starting off with a voice note. Starting off with a voice note. All right, let me switch back over here. So starting off with a voice note, took this and then extrapolated it out. I love that word, extrapolated it out. Could we also do that with old blog posts? Yes. This is why when I am coaching anyone right now, I'm saying absolutely you're going to start off with creating content. There is no if and buts about it. And then we're going to be looking at it from the standpoint of not creating as if, oh my gosh, another thing to do. No, I'm talking about as you already doing what you're doing, we're just going to make sure that you take note of it. Take note of it, right? Whether it's a voice note like this, but take note of it. Always walking around with some device that allows you to record what you're doing. And then we take that information, pull it out, and then are able to, from that information, extrapolate it down into whatever it is we want. That's the key. In this case, you'd say a little something based on your business or getting ready to go, you're having a frustration, whatever it is. Then you plug it in and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now. Grab that information. Look at this. Today, I want to discuss a concept I believe holds significant importance for many people. The notion that money is the root of all freedoms. All right. So just that blog post. Well, let's go ahead and take this right here. I'm going to take this snippet right here. I'm going to go over to another one of my image makers. And in this image maker, I'm going to just tell you right now, man, I'm so in love with it. I don't know what to do it myself. So, because it has so many different tools, I'm just using one, but look at that. You got about 1,927 tools, just saying. Right. So now we go over here and you notice these are some images that it created from a prompt. This prompt, images that leverages these keywords. That's all I said. Customer acquisition, lifetime value, business growth, entrepreneurship tips, marketing strategies. All I wanted to do is get something that leveraged those. I used a specific model. Now, here's what I believe is also going to happen in the new year is you're going to have apps that are apps that bring together all these different things that they use. Because I'm gonna tell you something, a little secret that I learned recently. A lot of these generators are riding on the API or riding on the tech of literally one or two. Either it's OpenAI or it's doing some stuff with Stable Diffusion, or it's doing some things with different LLMs, and that's the big game. That's why so much money is being made now because they're saying, okay, I know you want to create this. You'll ride on the backbone of this type of LLM, and then based on that LLM and how it gets down, we'll create stuff for you, right? So we're getting a lot of that in the Replets of the world, the boats, the cursor, all those, that allow you to just say what you want and then it'll build out for you, it'll build the code. But that's writing on something. So that's what we start getting to. What is it, the thing that is writing on? And then I'm going to suggest that you invest in that. I'm going to suggest that you go to that and use that, right? Because you can build your own stuff. Now, in the meantime, these are so in other words, they're wrappers, right? They're wrapping around the code of the APIs of something else. All right. Anyway, so let's look at this. So you have all these different tools that you can do so many different things with. Look at this. You got custom GPTs. You want to make those. I made like two or three yesterday for some stuff that I was doing. Chat with a PDF. You can do that right now. Keep in mind that typically you have to pay X amount a month. I paid for a little bit, not too much for this, but you sit there and just create like crazy and you can make yourself some good money, right? So look at this. I had this one in here. Well, first, let me finish this. So we got AI image generation. I got Photo Studio, right? We got Voice Cloner, all in one now. And here's the cool game. I love this. They're telling you how many points or credits that you're using because it costs them money to run their business. So they're kind of charging you as you run your business. No harm, no foul. But here's what's awesome is that if you refer people, you get to earn. I'm going to be referring like crazy. This is all I'm going to build my business on is talking about the things that I'm already using to make money and then saying to others, would you like to also make money? And if you do, click here. And then what I'll do is, invite you to a Discord channel or a Facebook page, whatever it is, right? That we talk about this kind of stuff. So you get to support and you get that accomplishment and accountability. All right. So here it is. All these different things that I can do, right? So YouTube, AI, YouTube summarizer. Okay, that could be cool. AI text to speech transcription. That's one. Text humanizer, right? We get all these AIs and they just like look like garbage. AI background remover, that's one. All right. Clothes changer. Ooh, I saw this just yesterday on another app and I didn't even realize that was in here, so I have to check that out, right? AI interior design. I got some people that are in the interior design space that need to be using AI. Why? If they don't, they're going to be out of business. Just saying, because I can go and give it the parameters and say, make this for me. I got a basement project that I'm doing, and I'm going to go in here and says, here's what I want to do. Make this for me. All right, now let's jump over here into this image design. Remember what we did? We just took a little bit from voice notes. We just took a snippet from a blog post. We went back over here to our image creator, and then we're going to plug some stuff in to see what it does for us. Now, look at this. Lifetime value of a customer acquisition of a customer, acquisition, business growth. I literally have now, and I'm going to download this. I now have something that I can go out there and put into Instagram, put into Pinterest as a card of what we're going to be talking about. The only thing that matters in business is the lifetime value, right? All I asked to do was from this one, leverage just some words. This is the key part, everybody. It gave me a person, it gave me this, it gave me that, right? You got a guy that it decided that it wanted to have a different race. You got a person that's a different, all kinds of cool. So here we got a whole bunch of people, and that's all they should be thinking about, right? If your team isn't thinking about this, now imagine I said this. If your team isn't thinking about this, you're thinking about things in the wrong way. Now, I again used to have to pay story blocks, just a goo gob of money every year just to get these kind of things. Now I have an image that for my next newsletter, I'm going to be able to use because this is all that matters. Customer acquisition, lifetime value. We can determine those things, and then we decide if we're going to go buy ads based on just those two type of things. So I can riff on that for a long time. So let's go ahead and see what else it could do for us. All right. So we're going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to plug in the new one. Right. And now this one is a full sentenced type of thing. I don't know what it's going to come up with. I'm going to change a little bit of the ratio. You don't need to know all that right now, but look at it. It's going to also decide what it's going to create. I'm going to go in here to some advanced settings. I want at least 3 images. Advanced settings. If I go into advanced settings, then it gives me a chance to like ask some other things, right? Negative prompt, enter things you don't want to see in the image, stuff like that. Things you do not want to see in the generation. Here's a resolution. I can come up with all kinds of stuff, right? Magic, auto, blah, blah, blah. All these different things that you can now include in this information. I'm using this model, but look at this. It allows me to do all kinds of different models, right? If I want to use Flux Pro, It's asking me which one do you want, if I wanted to use Mid Journey, if I wanted to use Recraft. Now, I've used these different ones for different things. If I want realistic, so if what if I went to artistic? If under artistic, which ones do you want to use? You want to use Luma, you want to use Stable Diffusion, we want to use Photon Flash, we go to popular. Do I want to use Luma Photon, Recraft? It's asking me which one do I want to use. Now I wanted to use the recommended, and then I went over and I can change which one I want to use. That part, everybody, is what is the key, right? So let's look at here. We're going to go over now, and then we're going to use, in this case, I'm going to use ideogram because I like some of the pictures that ideogram makes, right? They write and create realistic looks, all right? So that is cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. All right. And I can upload an image if I wanted to say, hey, look at this image and kind of make me something like that. Y'all seeing it? That's what's interesting about this particular one, right? I can do some stuff here. This is just amazing. Let's go ahead and hit generate images. It's going to tell you how many credits it's going to use, 0.24 million credits, right? And it's going to show up right here. I get them again come January 28th. I want to absolutely use up as many as I possibly can. Now, if you're working, let's say for with a virtual assistant, then you then can direct them to do this themselves. But I'm looking at this from the perspective of you're the one person in that business. Okay, so look what it did. It says, okay, based on this stuff here, money is the root of all. Instead, I pose the question of you, why is money considered the root of all evil? It's got some images of some people. I could use those, right? I could say it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever it is, you need to be making more money in 2025. I can use this image right here and saying big city, big hopes, big dreams, but what happens next, right? I can use this guy right here and says, yep, this is the look of a perplexed man not knowing if he should continue on with his career or start off in his entrepreneurial journeys. Now, did you just see what I did here? Now, with something like this, the key becomes what then can you do with this to then earn money? Let me connect that for you. Now, this will be me and Rob talking. Typically, we will be going on about this, that, and the third. But I have my own channels too. So other channels that I also talk about monetizing your life and then creating from the structure of just you and maybe another person, but just you starting off and how you can create just being a single type of owner of a business, right? I think I do that one over at Citizen CEOs. That whole concept behind Citizen CEOs is that you can run your own thing. It's just ordinary people creating extraordinary businesses. Literally. That is the byline. Ordinary people like me and you creating extraordinary businesses. How can we do this? Now we use the AI power to do some of this stuff. Now, that's one of them, right? So I got that. I'm going to go over to another one. This is one that I just acquired, and it took me a lot to get over to this one, um, because it literally it wasn't just, it didn't take my credit card, and it was because that day I was buying a lot of stuff, and my credit card processor says, "What's going on? Did somebody take his card?" And it was like, "Stop that." But finally, I got it. And here's what it does. Now, Pixels, Pixels, is literally a thumbnail generator. It was when they went out and trained their model, they literally trained it on creating viral thumbnails. Now, I would have to come up with all kinds of weird prompts just to get this level of what they've already been trained on. So sometimes it makes sense that you just buy it and you have your 4 to 5 to 6 different generators. You have your 4 to 5, 6 different AIs up because you're going to do different things. If you notice, I use voice notes for one, whereas now voice notes is an interface that then allows me to say things fast, get stuff created quickly. Now take from that quickly. Before I would have to use a little recorder and then I have to take the recorder. I got to transcribe that. So it has removed a lot of steps. Now, in this case, here's what I did. I use that same, remember those keywords from Galaxy that I was over at Galaxy, I use those same keywords and then I says, let's see what this does in its being trained on just thumbnails to give me what I want. And this is what it came up with. Listen, this is amazing, everybody. If you're not seeing how this is an absolute mind-blowing opportunity for you to then go out there and create your YouTube channel and to have the very thing that makes people click on stuff already created for you, I don't know what is, right? So look at this. This right here is showing you the image that it came up with. You got some dude right here in the future, managers of the future. So now, if I were talking to Rob, I would say, hey, Rob, this is what you might want to be talking to your leaders about. Here are your managers of the future. And then you can literally show them with all this kind of stuff. Here's your manager of the future. That could be you. You're interacting with AI that's out there interacting with the world. That part, right? So now we have an image that is showing about what we could then talk about. We then go ahead and do something like this. Now, I don't want to use up all my credits. These credits are very valuable to me, and I had to use up 10 credits to come up with something else. But I could. Let's go ahead and what if I put in that same thing? Today, I want to discuss that concept. All right, I'm going to go ahead for you all and create and use up 10 credits. All right, do y'all mind? And now, okay. So let me stop here and do the commercial of the business. All right. So the commercial is this. If you like what you're seeing here, like, share it, talk about it, get excited, get into and, get into our comment section and just start going nuts, right? And having a lot of fun with this kind of stuff. If you want me to show you how to do these things, I invite you into some of the other stuff that I do. I give away a lot of stuff, and then there's some things that I come on and I says, hey, look, give me $19.99 and you can have this for a month or whatever it is. And then I constantly just put this stuff out there. So if you want that, just let me know. Put something in the comments that says, I want that. You don't have to, go and try to find me and DM me and send me emails. Just in the comments, say, I want that and I want it right now. And then I will find you. How about that? So there it is. So let's go ahead and put in this prompt. Now, this one, keep in mind, is trained specifically on creating viral thumbnails, right? So now, whereas we could have maybe used a little bit of Galaxy to try to come up with this, we could have used a little bit of Image FX from Google to try to do this, but I wanted to use something that is trained specifically. So now this is where they only do one thing. Their focus was, can we help people create viral thumbnails, right? And this is why this is awesome too, right? So let's go ahead and see what happens when we try to generate based on this particular type of. Now look how fast that's going. Look at that, right? Again, I would typically have to go over to Canva. I would have to say, what do I want? And then have to regenerate or Photoshop if people are still using Photoshop. And Canva kind of, killed that whole idea, right? Or Adobe or whatever it is. And then I would have to put in the thing, and then Adobe tells you, well, this is an AI generated. It tells you that you have to say that, all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't like that. So this right here, very, very quickly, is then trying to determine what I'm trying to do as a thumbnail. And based on its training, it's going to try to push out something that is, I don't have no idea what's happening. Okay, I see. It's using it's hogging up some power, y'all. So let's go ahead and see what it creates for us. All right, I see that the web application is not responding. Okay, we'll give it a little bit of time and see if it can produce some stuff for us. All right, I think it's trying, everybody. All right, great. Look at this. Now, this is a crazy look, but hey, you might be able to float that and people go, what is happening right now? I see some chains, I see some money, I see some sunshine, I see on one side I've got look like a dystopian future or past. So what if you said something like your money, if you're talking to people coming out of incarceration situations, you can say something to the effect of, it doesn't matter where you were, jailed or where you were chained up or it doesn't matter about your past or whatever it is, your future is bright. I don't know. And then you show something like this. And now you can make money with these new tools no matter where you come from. If you take this training, I'm going to show you how to remove the chains of the past, whatever, right? Come up with something that's interesting. But you see what it did? It literally took bits and pieces of information. Now, I didn't give it a lot to work with. I gave it enough to work with where it's kind of going, okay, I think this is what dude is trying to say here, and it created some amazing things for us. All right, look, listen, I'm going to leave this information, how to create and find these tools in the description field. I'm also putting together for everybody. This is what I've decided to do. I'm going to start putting together checklists for of these things as I talk about them. Then I'm going to show you where they are. If you want to go further with this kind of stuff, then I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that if you come into some of our communities. All right, so you seeing this. Rob and I typically, for the Two Business Guys Mastermind, we're always mastermind on this kind of stuff. This is all I'm going to be trying to talk about for the year, right? He's going to be like, let's talk about this. I want to talk about this dude, right? And then maybe on some of my other channels, I may use this particular video for one of my other channels as well, and because it just gets after what we should be thinking about all the time. Now, you thought I was going to come on and talk about Chat GPT and all that kind of stuff. Chat GPT has its function, but let me tell you, I'm going to go over to ChatGPT now. This is what everybody knew because it was first. So it was like ingrained in their mind. This is what's up, right? Now, I'm going to show you something that I did the other day in ChatGPT that could save you a lot of money. So in this particular case, I think I was talking about, yeah, some of the newer apps. I asked some very interesting questions of it. I says, okay, now let's think about tools like Replit.com, Cursor.com. These tools help you build applications and tools without knowing how to code. Take all of what we're saying here and suggest a tool that can help me build from this transcript. Now, this right here is where I think we should just literally sit in a room and make money doing, coming up with ideas and just putting it in, seeing what it's saying, and then coming up and creating tools from it. All right. So this is what it came up with. It says, hey, this one could be called Top Post Finder, a simple tool, Top Post Finder, that scans your social media content, spots posts or video with the highest engagement, likes, comments, shares, and then automatically suggests running ads on it. It also could track new customers who come in from those boosted posts and estimate how much each customer is worth. In other words, the lifetime value. Now, I put in one of those prompts that I was saying that we got from a blog post that we use in voice notes. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? And then what I ended up doing was saying, okay, that's great. Why is it useful? Told it to tell me why would this be useful. And then what we could do then is literally take this and create a custom GPT. We can create a tool using these same things. Now, it's not easy using these tools. I have been looking at a lot of different trainings, and I kind of think I'm a smart guy, but man, my head was like, bro, I'm blown. I got to go take a nap. But then we then have stuff like this, right? Look at this. So here is the tool that I wanted to build. It's telling me how to drag and drop. It's telling me the best one. I had kind of looked at some other videos that talked about the best one to use, how the app works. I wanted to be explained in an eighth grade manner. Just don't talk high level to me, bro. Just, I'm eighth grade. So it then says, okay, this is what you're going to do. Connect your social media account, scan the post, pick the winner, suggest ad, blah, blah, blah. Right now, are we doing this for customers? Absolutely. Because even though the tools exist, customers still don't want to do it. They got other things to think about, or they got, vacations to have. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and she was on vacation and just chilling, right? One of my coaching clients. And I was like, that's great. I'm going to help you do some of these other things. I says, look, just send me back some data. Just send me some information. Send me some places that you went. Send me some stuff that you feel. All this, all I need is a little bit of that. Now, I should have told her just record a little bit of that and then bring that back with you. Because now from that, we can extrapolate it out. There's that word again, extrapolate it out, right? And then we can create from just that. Here's where I went. Here's what I did. Here's what you want to do. Here's some places to go. Now you can become an affiliate for that and earn as you are on vacation. Are y'all seeing it? If you are, smash the like button. Engage with the post here, right? Engage with us. Tell me that, man, this is voodoo, this is witchcraft, whatever you want to say, right? Let's get in and talk about this stuff. And I want to be able to show you that nope, it's not magic. It's just AI. It's not magic. See, now something like that. That sounds like a pretty good one. It's not magic. It's just AI. So what do? I'm gonna write that down It's AI. For all those, so now you see what I just wrote there. I'll use this note and then create something around it and put it out maybe on a landing page that says it's not magic, it's just AI. And then say, would you like to learn how to AI? So, and then what, so this is what it helps you do. It helps you think differently. It helps you go, well, wait a minute, I got an idea from 2010 or whatever it is, depending on your age, where I got some stuff I thought about back when I was in high school that, well, it was ahead of its time. Well, now it could be right now in its time. So what if I said something like, it's not magic, it's AI, and then I says, AI, your life. Right now, don't get me wrong, I'm getting ready to go buy that domain if it's available. Because now at the Monetize Your Life guy, that's what I talk about. On this channel, when the Two Business Guys Mastermind, that's what we mastermind now about. So I may say something like, it's not AI your life, then is an invitation to people to start putting AI in their life. I do videos on that. Connect them with the AIs that I am using that they can see, showing the receipts, and then show them how they can make money too. Now you see it. We just talked about another way to make money, right? Because AI is going to eviscerate different industries, right? And at the top, we talked about how a plumber, electrician, stuff like that. If I see some AI coming in here saying, I'm getting ready to rewire your house, then I know it's over for all those industries as well. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. But the photography business, the people that are out there doing videography and editing and all these kind of things that we used to have to send out to people are going to have their industries affected. We might as well jump in with all our might. Jump in, and I mean with 2 feet, 2 arms, and just say, I have the ability now to build this airplane in the sky. Right? My wife loves to say that. I'm just jumping in and building an airplane in the sky. I said, well, I'm not riding in that airplane. But now I may go, are you having AI help you build it? Okay, I might ride an airplane. So that becomes what is possible for us right now. You're seeing it. If you're seeing it, smash the like button because I'm talking about these things kind of fast. I'm going through some things kind of quickly. Why? Because I want you to see the power of this stuff so that you can jump right in. Now, okay, let's continue to look at this. So what else could we do with this post, right? So we've got this right here. We've got this information. I'm looking at stuff, social media accounts, right? So I'm like, okay, all right, great. Let me take this and seeing if now I can create an image based on this, or maybe I want to do a thumbnail, right? We were talking about thumbnails earlier. So let me go over here and see if this right here can create a thumbnail about what I'm getting ready to talk about. Are y'all seeing it? All right, this is it. All right, let's see what it generates. I'm going to be using up some more credits, but that's okay. So we then let it do its thing based on what we say. I think I might want to build this. And then we are asking ourselves, okay, does it have product market fit? And we've decided that yes, it does have product market fit. Now, I use these particular things because these are words that I learned in college that I didn't know how to apply until we start thinking about right now. I was literally telling someone the other day, I says, you know what? Look at some of your old college papers and then create based on some of that. Now, that's another program that I have where I'm teaching college people that are in college, how to create, how to earn a living while they're in college, while they're going through classes, so that they can reduce the cost of college as they go. All right, here's what it came up with. Look at this. Now that's a reasonable. It's saying, okay, it took all this information. It says TikTok, TikTok, Instagram, your phone, some weird math here, showing something interesting. But the moment we can't, the main thing is that now I go to make a blog post about this. Let's say I use that image and I say something like, if you're not using your phone to make a living, then you might just go broke in 2025 or something. Right? If you're not using your phone to make a living, you might just go broke in 2025. And then I can, now from that, I can then take that, and I did something on, I'm gonna tell you, I did something recently on TikTok where TikTok was just giving away money, basically saying, if you help us engage with people, we'll give you this. And I said, great, I'll help people engage with it. And I made like 80 bucks in like thirty minutes. So now imagine if that I did that, right? I went out and I showed the proofs of that. And I says, if you're not using your phone to make money in 2025, then you might just go broke. Right now, what I just did was recorded that, everybody, so that I can use that in a voice note later because I didn't have time to go ahead and put this up. But now from that, I'm literally recording myself talking about this thing, right? Then I use this, put that on a blog post, and then I says, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to AI your life. You see what I just did? I talked about AI in your life a little bit earlier. Saying it like that then is the invitation for people to come in. And then perhaps I say, well, for me to teach you these things, it's going to be $19.99 a month, right? Less than the cost of two movies at Phoenix theaters. But over there, you're just going to buy more popcorn and get a whole bunch of stuff and you're going to poop it out. And the movie might not be that good. But what I'm going to teach you is stuff that will could pay you forever. So something like that could be your idea. Now you go into these LLMs and GPTs and you say, here's my idea. I want to help people do this. Instead of going to the movies, they do this and see what it can create for you. Then says, okay, give me an image. I want to see if anybody's interested in this before I build it out. Then you go and you place it on LinkedIn, you place it on Pinterest as a pin, you place it on Instagram as an idea, and then you have a link that invites people into what you're getting ready to do. I'm just saying that's what's possible. So let's jump off of here, everybody, because I wanted to make sure that I showed you enough and then I'm going to make you an invite to you. If you look at this and you say, man, I have gotten extreme amounts of value from this. Well, here's the invitation. Let me show you more. This is not even a fraction. Let me show you more, but more importantly, let me show you how to use this stuff. Use it to protect ourselves to a degree, right? Use it to protect our industries. Use it to protect our jobs. Use it to protect our money. This kind of stuff is the opportunity. As we learn it, we don't fear it. If we don't fear it, then we can work alongside of it. If I can work alongside of it, then I can model it. If I can model it, I can make money. And so can you. That's what I want to share with you, everybody. And I'm hoping that you're able to see all this and then determine for yourself if it could work in your business. I know it can because I teach this stuff. I literally teach you how to put all of this stuff together. And I'm going to tell you, it's not magic. It's just AI. That's it. It's just AI. All right, you want to talk more about this stuff? Come on into some of the things that Rob and I do over at Two Business Guys Mastermind. Just come into the stuff that I do over at Monetize Your Life Guy. I'll leave links to all this stuff. If you don't find the link in here, then you can email me, you can DM me, but just say in the comments, I want this. I want this. That's it. And then I'll go ahead and find out where I can reach you, and then we will go from there. All right. Talk to you next time.